Hello, my name is Abe. Welcome back to Dead Cells. Give me a new run here, custom game. We're gonna lose our cells, but it doesn't matter. I feel like a tactics run today. That's not a guarantee that we will roll tactics, but I feel tacticsy right now. I feel like these allergies have been kicking my ass, and every time I sneeze, it feels like my skull is trying to escape my head. And I always feel like a tactics run is a good run to help ease my brain into a day of Dead Cells or other games, because I can just shoot enemies with something that afflicts a DOT and then run away from them, or just not have to worry so much about that melee combat nonsense. There's a lot of tactics here that I like, Boomerang, Hokuto's bow, but nothing else seems particularly interesting. The fans, I never have really used the fans to good effect. The boot and the peril glyph, not particularly a fan. I think we'll just go with a standard-esque bow staff run, and then we'll see what we can find on this floor. Is, of course, the possibility of... You good? Ooh, God. Oh, right, I still have the cheat mode on, which is good for me. Iron Staff early, I'm not a big fan of, because I know I'm gonna have to get rid of this at some point, and then I'm going to be off on my attacks. Hey, Sonic Carbine. You know what? Sounds good to me. There you go. There's our build. If the game wants to give me immediately a legendary that kind of fits with what I was hoping to do anyways. Hokuto's bow into one shot from the Sonic Carbine is gonna get the job done. I don't see anything. I don't see a notification. So thank you for the subscription. No, it was donate. Thank you for the donation. I don't see the message. So I don't see the actual text for the message. I tell you what, I will look into it in just a second. When we hit the biome door transition, I'll look it up, because I can figure out what it said. But thank you. I hope you've been enjoying games that I've been playing lately, because I certainly have. That's why I play them. You good? Now you're dead. Take that poison and shove it. This weapon, it'll be fine. Let's see if I can say that even less, it'll be fine for a while. At some point we will replace the Sonic Carbine. Shots explode into a toxic cloud is good to enable the Hokuto's bow synergy, and also the DOT is nice, but we will at some point just require a better way of inflicting DOT on a weapon that does more damage and that has better, not reload characteristics, but better, doesn't get stuck when you're trying to roll after attacking characteristics. The lock, the animation lock, as I like to call it. But early? Dude. Free legendary. Did you want to make it easy on me or something? Thank you. It was on the screen, but I missed it too, says Mud. It doesn't show up in my, Oh, I know why it doesn't show up. Okay. Yeah, it didn't show up in my lists of notifications, because I don't have the Streamlabs list open. At some point in the past, I got signed out, and then I couldn't figure out how to sign back in. So I just ignored it. That's the reason why. Called this jump scare. One of these days I should play some more Slay the Spire, but... Would people be interested in like a Slay the Spire 2? Because I would... nah. I think I would be interested in a Slay the Spire 2. I don't know how they could change the game or the gameplay to make it worthy of a sequel. But I do wonder what that development team has been working on. I will admit, I can't remember Megacrit. Megacrit made Slay the Spire. I wonder if they're working on anything. For a long time, I was very curious about what Subset Games was working on after they made FTL, and then they made the Advanced Edition. The game Into the Breach was an absolute gem. And sometimes I wonder about some indie developers, about what they are theoretically working on, and I'm wondering about that right now with the developers of Motion Twin. I know what. What's the name of the developers who made Terraria? I know Redigit is one of the lead developers, but they have a company name. I can't remember the name of the company. I know what they're working on. What they're working on is Terraria, because they decided that, I guess they wanted to keep the game going forever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and I'm sure everyone is loving that decision. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, just got coughed on my own blood. Give me a second, give me a second. There we go. They will never stop working on Terraria. I mean, the thing was is that their original plan was to stop working on Terraria. Their original plan was to be done with that game and then make some sort of a pseudo sequel. They were gonna make, what was it called? Terraria 2 Overworld or something? But then that project was canned, and then they wanted to stop working on Terraria and do a final update, and then they just decided to keep going. Which, to be fair, makes a lot of sense. If the game is still making them money, they can still support it. And the same thing is true of Dead Cells. Dead Cells is still making the developer money, so they might as well continue to support it. Terraria has a new final update every year. Yeah, that's the thing, is that it's the true final update, Journey's End, final update 2.0. They'll never be done with it, and I think people are okay with that. People are okay with that game going on forever because it's such a good game. There's a reason why it is still top rated. Top rated Steam games of all time. Portal 2, Stardew Valley, Terraria, People Playground, I've never heard of that one, Vampire Survivors, Hades, Left 4 Dead 2, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Portal, RimWorld. Really? What the hell is People Playground? I've never even seen that one. What the heck is that? I don't know what I just clicked on. Agro Chrysia, welcome, by the way. Chrysia, I saw you. Don't think I didn't see you. I saw you start a stream of Isaac for 2 seconds and then stop it. But I couldn't get there in time to actually see you play. You played for like 4 seconds. I would have watched, but I hope you're doing well. People were saying rumors that Motion Twin is making free DLC for the next Dead Cells update. I would be down. I would pay. I'm gonna pay for Dead Cells updates if they get them though. All right, so Sonic Carbine is still pretty good. We could swap it out for the blowgun, but I think we'll keep the legendary Sonic Carbine for the time being, which means I don't really care about any of this equipment. We are just going to leave. Pretty close to start streaming again. As long, give me a heads up, post it in the Discord, say, I'm gonna play Isaac at me, so it actually goes to my phone and I will watch. I will be there. And B Square. Animated series could pass for the biggest year alone, says Connie. I'm waiting for the Dead Cells animated series as well. That's gonna be fun. Anyways, sorry, there was a bit of a delay between ending the last biome and beginning this one, but I had to do a few things, including drink some more coffee. But yes, sometimes I get curious about what these indie developers are working on, project-wise. You know, it makes sense for the Terraria developers to continue supporting Terraria since it's still selling. It kind of makes sense for the Dead Cells developers as well, especially if they are still making money off of them. And more power to them. You know, the game is definitely deserving of the praise that it gets and the support that the developers are putting into it. And I hope that it can sustain them for a long time coming, because they're worth it. That could be kind of interesting. That's a very good bow for the Acrobata pack, because normally the magic bow is exceptionally slow. Nope. I wonder what would happen if you put a kill rhythm on this bow. Like, would it actually make it fire particularly faster? I have no idea. Worth thinking about, though, in theory. I don't know how you exploded. I didn't hit you, I don't think. I remember hearing that the problem with Terraria is that a lot of its early code holds it back. So that's a very good point. And that's a reason I think that a lot of games, especially by indie developers, definitely want to do remakes or sequels. I believe it's one of the primary reasons for The Binding of Isaac getting The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. It went from Flash to being written in, you know, a real programming language, and as a result, they were able to do more with it. Connie says, classic tech debt. Yes. And that makes sense for some games and for some developers, especially if they think that they can put the time and the effort rebuilding the game from scratch. For something like Terraria, you know, there's a lot of systems that would need reworking if they are going to be trying to improve the code base. Technically speaking, though, there's no reason why they can't do that in the existing game, even if it does take a while. That's why sometimes you get updates to a game, especially the smaller ones, that are like, you're not gonna notice a lot of changes in this update, but we have completely rewritten the backend code from scratch. And it's like, the game plays exactly the same, but the actual technical work that's been put into that update is incredibly substantial. And sometimes you get updates like that. I can believe that for Terraria, though. There's so many, like... I played a little bit of Terraria the other day. It was on my own. I just wanted to, I don't know, fish, basically. And even in that little bit of time when I played it, I've noticed so much that's been added in. I'm playing on the new version. It's like 1.4.5 or something like that. And there's so many little things that have changed. Quality of life improvements and just small mechanical changes. You know, if you play a game like that now versus its 1.0 release, you won't recognize the game. I don't know what point I'm trying to make here. I'm just talking. Hopefully that's what you're here for, just some talking. We learned something. Let's talk about Dead Cells for a second here. We learned something the other day about the giant fight in particular, because someone had mentioned that they really loved the, what was it? They really loved networking on the giant fight, and I didn't understand that, and I think we kind of showed that networking doesn't really work that well on the giant fight. But on the enhanced giant fight, networking should work pretty well, and so should a weapon like the Star Pew. But I remember when I was doing the enhanced giant fight, and that is the hard version when you're doing boss rush. That's the enhanced bosses. I remember having a bit of a problem with the enhanced giant where Star Pew would hit the hands and not the eye. Networking would make that not a problem as long as those Star Pew shots count as ranged attacks. I don't know for certain if they do, but I believe that they do. Makes me wonder that Star Pew might actually be pretty good for a tactics networking build, because the networking aspect of it, God damn, I love that. The networking aspect of it will make the what was I calling it? Starbow? Star Fury, yeah. The networking aspect of it might make those Star Fury shots very helpful because they can apply networking to enemies that are not even really in your line of sight. Because they can apply networking to enemies that are above you and all around you. Loving that stun grenade. Dun, dun, dun. I called it Star Pew. Oh no! The Gungeon, it's seeping into my everyday life, even like 6 months after I last played it. Oops. Where are we going here? We're going down. Well, there goes the flawless, but at least it's not much damage. It's just that annoying rotating laser. Abe was never the same. Can't escape the Gungeon. I gotta be honest though, everyone's been talking about Gungeon lately. I kind of feel like maybe I should do Abe doesn't know what to play, so he'll play Gungeon today. Stream at some point. Although I am also very tempted to do a very scummy thing and be like, I'll play Gungeon if you donate. I'll put it behind a paywall. Maybe I can sign up for YouTube subscriptions, and only ultra premier YouTube subscribers can watch those Gungeon runs. Isn't there something similar that you can do on Twitch? You could set it up so that only subscribers can watch particular streams. I don't know anyone who actually does that, but you know, in theory, the capability is there. Da-na-na. Mud says, did you ever read that donation for 15 minutes ago? I did, Nub. Thank you very much, Nub. They didn't say that they wanted Gungeon though. So I assume that, you know, they're not here for the Gungeon right now, they're here for the Dead Cells. But if they wanted it, I mean, that's what actually made me think about it. We can all blame Nub then for this idea. AJD says, I finished the Slot B playlist and now I feel empty. Isn't that like 400 runs worth of Gungeon or something like that? That's a lot. That's like the past 2 years of Gungeon. Dun dun. 250 runs. I mean, I basically stayed on the B save file, didn't I? No, maybe I did go back to the A save file at some point. Once I unlocked everything, it's like, well, it doesn't matter now. Oh yeah, I remember B slot. I died because I was like, let's do something really stupid and go down to 0 HP. But that was after we 100%ed the save file anyway, so it didn't matter. We completed what we needed to complete. Alrighty then. Nah. It's got a star affix, but it's not a good one. Sorry for keep pausing like this, but my hand is itchy. In my kitchen the other day, I was like making a sandwich and there was a mosquito inside the house and it landed on my hand and bit me. And I was like, you son of a B word. You are on my hand? I see you. It was like the most incredibly rude mosquito I've ever seen. But my back of my hand just itches now. What an absolute jerk. Throwing knife 5, bleeding. In a weird way, this is kind of better than the carbine because it inflicts bleeding faster than the poison comes out, I think, but we'll keep the legendary. I mean, it's legendary. I didn't mean to eat the food. I thought it was money. Now I got some malaise for no reason, but we are done with the floor. We've done everything. I wanted to eat the carrot before we left. Wah. And we have weapons. That being said, I am gonna go back to the other weapon shop because I do see that alchemical carbine, and I am thinking to myself, I could roll that instead of the magic bow in the backpack with acrobatapack. Sorry, clipped the microphone with my cup. But maybe it's not that important. I mean, we've got the carbine already for the poison, and it's legendary, and it does damage, and it's fine. So why don't we just re-roll, see what we get? Boy's axe. Boy's axe. I don't know why in my head I'm picturing that scene from, what is the name of the movie? Total Recall. 2 weeks. Boy's axe. All right, let's get out of here. We're done. Might as well recycle the carrot. And off to the prison. Connie says, I wonder how much space clips take on Twitch servers. They seem to be functionally permanent. Here's the Twitch secret. By default, your streams are not saved. You have to manually turn that on. Then they're only saved for 2 weeks, unless you manually go in and you save the streams that you do. But if you do that, they exist functionally forever on Twitch. Go for the acrobatapack. Now, that being said, I do try to save all of my streams, but there's not really a point, you know, because I post everything up on YouTube anyways and in like episodic format, so it does feel a little bit weird that 2 different companies are saving my videos when I have so few, you know, normal views. But hey, it's not my hard drive space. You think Amazon helps with the storage? Oh, they definitely do. Connie says they probably give Twitch better rates, but not much more than that. See, that's what I don't understand, is functionally Twitch still has to pay Amazon even though they're the same company. I guess on the books it makes sense. You know, you need to show that there's some cost associated with the video storage, but it is basically one company paying itself. I'm sure there's a tax reason why it does that. Hardest route. Am I on the hardest route? I mean, I love going to the prison for the 1 extra scroll that we get. That's why I'm here. All right. Luckily, we do enough damage that these enemies are not gonna live for very long. The Sonic Carbine does a very good job of chunking through some enemies here. The one thing we gotta be aware of is the Sonic Carbine has an animation lock. When you stop firing the gun, you can't dodge immediately. You have to wait a second. So if we ever find ourselves in a situation where we have to dodge quickly, we still might get hit. But I haven't rolled a good Sonic Carbine run in a while. One thing that I really like about it is that it's very good for staggering enemies. Even just like a couple of arrows in an enemy will cause dudes to kind of stop what they're doing for a second. So it's very good for keeping yourself safe. The problem is that if an enemy does not get staggered, then you're kind of off on your own. Oops. There's no one there. The damage, yeah, it's actually like half decent. Good at staggering. Boomerang Cross Enjoyer, welcome. Play DC, watch DC, sleep, repeat. This is, you know, some people's some people's Dead Cells. This is some people's Gungeon, probably, you know? You can't get enough of it. That's a med kit, that's pretty lucky. Wait for you to come over here. Random weapons. We've got a lot of weapons we don't need. Firebrand. Bibble. A poison bibble. Could use that on Nest Boss, assuming we're going that far. Probably don't need it. I do wonder if we put this in the backpack, do we get the orbiting shot? I doubt it, but like, you know what? Let's find out. You do not get orbiting shot. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. Here's the other question though. Do you get orbiting shot by using the third hit from the bibble? Ah! I don't think so. The poison was from the bibble, not from the other weapon there. We're gonna keep Magic Bow. Keep that Acrobata pack going. And Lemon, welcome. I do have the wings, but I haven't used them yet. You know, I do like Frost Blast here. Actually, here's my idea. All right, that's actually like pretty sick. Yeah, and then we freeze enemies just by attacking with the Sonic Carbine. Bibble? Yeah, the Bibble. It does a little bit of damage as well, but okay. Mostly I think I like it just for like potential crowd control by freezing enemies. My damage has decreased. I wonder if that is because of the loss of good? How do I go down? I can't. Oh, there we go. I didn't know Wings of the Crow would prevent me from going down a chain. That could be a little bit detrimental. I wonder if that's why sometimes I die when I'm using Wings of the Crow, because I just can't maneuver. A little interesting on that one. Ding and ding and ding and ding and ding and ding. Got him. Da, da. Amazing wings. They're so good, man. At least this can keep enemies stun locked temporarily. And he says, gotta sleep since Friday's coming up. Don't play Darkest Dungeon today, thank you. I was mentioning it, at some point I do need to go back into Darkest Dungeon and complete my, my 5 Infernal Flame runs. Still got 1 left to do. But that's not gonna happen today. So have a good night, Connie, and we'll see you later. Whoo, boy. A Yumi, you don't say. You don't say. I feel like I should take this over the carbine. We could also put it in the backpack, but I don't really want enemies to get thrown away that quickly, but I don't really want to get rid of the bow. Maybe we're okay getting rid of the bow. We say, hey, we're not really using Hakuto's bow. It's a level 4. Let's take the Yumi instead. Then we can freeze enemies and eat them away from us at high velocity. And there is a med kit, so we are gonna go back and grab that real quick. Why does this weapon feel weak? The Sonic Carbine, it does crits on piercing, so it does double damage on piercing targets. But the reason why it feels weak is that individually its arrows don't do that much damage. You know, 3,000 DPS, but it's firing 6 shots per second. It's not gonna feel particularly impressive. What else do we have here? Chemical carbine. No. I think we're okay. But also, it's a level 4, so it's rather low powered. We currently have level 6 and 8 equipment in the Frost Blast, so we are gonna be looking for an upgrade. And then on top of that, Sonic Carbine has never really been that high of a damage weapon. Its damage is acceptable. I like it because it stuns enemies easily though. It's got a lot of stagger damage. And it's got a lot of ammo that it's firing quickly, so things like barbed tips are actually pretty effective. So you can lock your bullets into enemies and then just have that damage over time take them. Which we'll probably do here. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could take barbed tips right now. Networking is also tempting, but, you know, I would like to plan for the boss. What do we need on the boss? We need barbed tips, not networking. So that's probably where I'm gonna go. And that's, it's a nice amount of bonus damage in theory. Bank! I think I'm gonna skip the bank. Yeah, I think I might skip the bank. Could go to the ossuary for the bonuses and then take Black Bridge, but you know me, I like going nest if I'm already here. We're not really gonna get any higher level equipment, and I like the biome, so let's just stick with it. Yeah, Fangs. We had the option to take Fangs for Toxic as well. But we'll stick with the current equipment here. There you go. The stun grenade, I am so happy I've stuck with it. We need a better one that has more stun duration, but it is really, I don't know what happened there. I kind of just lost my wings. I think I double tapped it. It has done such great work for us. Well, I forgot about the slow attack on that one, that's fine. Yeah, I've been coming around to Snake Fangs too. It's pretty fun. If I get the opportunity, I will very much consider it. We had the opportunity, but I wanted to stick with the actual ranged equipment that we had. Scroll fragment, that's probably the food shop. And early curse chest, you love it. AJD says, I think stunning should be tactics as well as survival. Stunning, I think is fine being survival only because it fits the bill more. Stunning doesn't do direct damage, so it doesn't really fit tactics playstyle, which is poison, ranged damage, and things that have like particular positional requirements. I like that. I like that differentiation. And honestly, if you make it tactics, then you're gonna have to start making exceptions for other things as well, and then you're gonna run into the same problem that happened earlier in Dead Cells development, which is everything is every color. It happened before and it'll happen again. If everything's every color, then there's no reason to be one color over another. Oh, every color has a ranged option. Well, you don't need it to be, you don't need to play tactics if there's 5 different types of ranged, brutality equipment. I mean, the only ranged brutality equipment is firebrands, fire blast, and infantry bow. Very, very limited. That limitation works. Okay, it's good. Always a little scary sometimes. Excuse me, you do not belong here. There's the food. Let's reduce that malaise as we progress through the rest of this. Kunai, because it's bleed. And the infantry bow is because it is close range. It fits the play style. Everything else, though, is purely tactics. And survival has the crossbows, aka two-handed weapons. So, like, there's certainly thematic reasons for those exceptions, but they are the exception and not the rule. I gotta stop slamming my coffee cup into the microphone every time I pick it up. Ding ding. Beautiful. What I should do is since we did the cursed chest, there might be a second one, but hopefully not. Well, hopefully yes, actually. Since we did the cursed chest, what we should do is we should explore the rest of the floor to get as strong as possible before we fight this tick. The ticks are so annoying, they're so tanky. Kind of tough to fight as a tactics character, I find, at least with this tactics equipment that we have. No! I will take it. Definitely hate that guy. See ya. We're gonna have to get some upgraded equipment soon. We're rolling equipment that we've had for quite some time. It's fine for now. We are definitely starting to get to the point of level 4 and 5 equipment is not going to be worth it. And also, I'm not using Wings of the Crow. AJD says this layout is going to give double curse chest. It could. No guarantee that it will. It could, because this is one of those biomes that has a guaranteed curse chest, and when there's a guaranteed curse chest, there can still be a random curse chest, so we need to still explore everything before we get out of here, just in case there's gonna be another one. Come on. The exit is... Random skills. I don't know. Should I get rid of the Wings of the Crow? I'm not using them. I don't know how effective they are going to be against the next boss, because I don't use them. Random skills. I think I might just prefer a turret. Gives us an oil damage synergy, too. The guaranteed is never under the Ram rune. Well, we've seen both of them. If it was under the Ram rune, it's double. I see, so there can be a cursed chest under the Ram rune. Gotcha. Well, our cursed chest was not under the Ram rune. You see, that's one of those little things that I'm never going to remember, because it's a very, like, minor but important mechanic that requires a little bit of extra knowledge about the game and its level generation. It's pretty good DPS, but... I knew it! Easiest way of dealing with the mimics ever. AJD says, Lemon, any tips on the ossuary curse? I can give you a tip. Skip as many enemies as you can, and come back and fight them later once you take the curse chest. The Inquisitors, the cannon boys, and the tubes of goo, they don't follow you, so just run past them. Run past them, explore the level, and then just backtrack and kill them all later. You can very easily save 10 enemies. Okay, goodbye, Wings of the Crow. I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me. All right, let's finish up. Nope. Clunk. 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 Galazzo says, turrets in this game are pretty cool. I like the turrets for the most part. Some of the turrets are a little less effective than others, sure, but I enjoy just putting down a turret and letting it do its thing. And I really like the double crossbow-matic, because in theory, it's double damage against a single target because it says it fires at 2 targets at once. Rossed says, I remember from my visit to Ossuary, the cursed chests tend to spawn near the top of the map. I do not think that that is a good rule of thumb. I find that the chests kind of spawn anywhere. In my experience for the Ossuary, actually, the chests tend to spawn at the end of the level. Same thing in the graveyard. It's always like the last room I go to. That might just be like level generation quirks, but it always seems to be in the last place you look, doesn't it? Are we good? I think we're good. It always weirds me out that there's only one like weapon shop on this floor. I always feel like there should be more here, but there isn't. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Quark, happy Thursday. How are you doing? What's going on? My strat for the graveyard is get the key and leave everything after it. It says AJD. For the curse? Honestly, AJD, my strat for the graveyard is don't worry about it. Because after the floor, you're not fighting a boss, so you can just keep the curse going for the area afterwards. I do try to do it on the same floor, but it's not a huge deal. Generally, my strategy for the graveyard is when you get underground, just try to find the chest if you can. Try to ignore enemies if you can, especially if they're easy, and then just come back and fight them later. And it generally works for any floor. But for the graveyard in particular, it's one of the rare floors where it's not really that troublesome if you fail to clear it. You know, Morass, guaranteed curse chest. Ossuary, guaranteed curse chest. Boss fight afterwards. Graveyard, Slumbering Sanctuary, Fractured Shrines, guaranteed curse chests, but you can cleanse it by the next area. And Forgotten Sepulchre's curse chest tends to be at the beginning, so that one doesn't matter either. It's really these ones. Ossuary, Morass, and in particular the Ossuary, which is the hard one. If I'm going caverns, I'll need to finish it before. Sure, but you can probably clear it in the caverns just by going slowly. Well, could. Harrison, welcome, how's it going? We need to think about our equipment here, because we don't have a lot of ammo in the Sonic Carbine. Barb Tips is gonna help, but then we run out. We have poison synergies, but nothing that synergizes with poison. We have something that synergizes with oil, but it doesn't help us on this fight. So, plus damage, sure. Plus damage, sure. Can we get a self-synergy Sonic Carbine? Plus 3 ammo. I'm gonna roll it one more time. One more time. One more time. Okay, ammo up is what we're gonna just stay on there. Plus 20% damage, not worth changing there. We don't really have the synergies that I'm desiring, but our weapons are still old. Level 4, 5, and 6. Crossbowmatic is good, but you know, we just bought it, and that's the only thing we could buy from that shop. What do you think is the easiest first boss in BC5? The giant. I take damage on the giant on occasion. He really is the easiest first boss, though. If he was here, you could still probably kill him without getting hit. The self-assured answer, though, is certainly the Blackbridge boss. Even though he's also a pain in the butt. Because his AoE aura sometimes, and his roar that stuns you, sometimes means that you still get hit, even if you try to roll through him. That happens to me all the damn time, and I kind of hate it. Colazo says, I find Tentacle Guy to be the easiest. He's also pretty easy, but I do get hit by his tentacles all the time. Don't take that out of context. All right, let's try to focus. I made a mistake, but I was not punished for it. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That's why sometimes you do have to dodge in the other direction. He's dead. Dun 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 dun. Segas Jr. says, Concierge is a pain for a shield addict like me, because 2 of his 4 attacks are unparryable. Hell says, the clock one is easy if you have the ice shield. I did a run recently. Yo, hemorrhage in the backpack. I like that. I like that a lot. And let's dump Frost Blasty. I did a run recently, and I noticed that on the clock boss fight, I almost killed her in the first phase of the fight before she entered the second phase, but it took a really long time. And normally she enters the second phase pretty quickly if you do a lot of damage to her. So I don't know why I was able to extend the length of time in that first phase. I really need to like experiment and try to figure out exactly how that phase works, because if I can replicate that and spend more time in that first phase through like a stun or a freeze or just spreading out your damage over a longer period of time or something, then you can make the fight a little bit easier. It was like she did sword attacks, then she did a grappling hook, then she did a dash, then she did shurikens, then she did a sword attack again, and by the end of it, she was on a fraction of health remaining, but I don't know why she took so long in that first phase. It was very weird. Tornado, huh? Ugh. Well, I think we can probably get rid of the stun grenade now and just take something that gives us damage. It's a fast projectile and it does relatively decent damage, and sure, stun grenade level 4 can go. Now we have a very fast tornado that is not very good, but we'll take it for now. That's super specific to have an ice shield against clock boss. Some bosses are just weak to certain items. Heck, I would recommend if you have a tactics build, Wolf Trap. Wolf Trap keeps her locked down pretty significantly. Same thing for Queen Boss. All right, let's go. That hemorrhage is gonna crit basically all the time. And we're gonna go to... Game wants me to go graveyard. I'll do it. Rased says, Tornado very good against death because it clears out the small size and projectiles. I didn't think about that. Combo with Yumi. Yumi is very good for clock and for queen and for the servants. There's graveyard. I guess Tornado would be good against clock and against Scarecrow, maybe even against the giant. Like, can it hit the hands when they're in the air? Like they don't care? Okay, thank you. I want to get one of these crits off. I want to see. I mean, if it gets the enemies stuck in it repeatedly, that's pretty good. Wolf Trap is amazing for how early in the game you get it. You mean like in relation to all of the unlocks? It is one of the earlier ones. It's also been in the game the longest. Well, one of the longest. Whew. It is, it's been in the game for a long time. Is it just me, or are there a lot of enemies here? There's a lot of enemies here. Goodness gracious. Ooh! Rossed says, Tornado against death is one of the boss weaknesses that sticks with me because it's how I finally got my flawless. I got the flawless with the spoiler item, says AJD against death. I've definitely done that before. Spin to win against, I'm gonna say it, spin to win against the giant. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, really. Insanely easy. Dude, we need to replace this sonic carbine at some point. We don't need hemorrhage in the backpack, even though its damage is pretty good. We could probably take Hakuto's bow, and then at some point, maybe reroll this into having poison built into the bow, and then we know how that works. Yeah, sure, let's do this. I'm not getting rid of this legendary, even though I probably should at this point. It carried me into Dracula Flawless, I can relate. I don't remember how I got Dracula Flawless. I think I got Dracula Flawless, right? I think I 100%ed. I've 100%ed this game several times, I feel. I practiced Giant with Cursed Sword. Now there's an interesting one. I mean, in theory, I guess if you can, you know, well, like in theory, if you can dodge enough that you can take the Cursed Sword, then why not just do it without the Cursed Sword, you know? If you've already gotten good, do you need the Cursed Sword? I guess the damage output from it is sick. Well, that is not how I wanted that to go. It's real easy to do? You mean it's real easy to do? Whoa. Hold on. There you go. Oh my god, open the door. I already got the key. Oh, but there's some stuff. Oh, we found the key before we even found the tomb. The tomb is on fire. Hey, a better Yumi. Perfect. What's the legendary? Shots leave a trail of flames? Yeah. Maybe we want to consider a wish at some point, just to have some fun. Still have a cursed chest to deal with too. We were just talking about those cursed chests. So, let's follow our own advice and look for it. It might be right there. Sorry, Wings. Never mind, it's here! And it was underneath a breakable floor, too. Explosive crossbow, it's the most wonderful gun in the game. Well, it's pretty good, and it does cause me some more damage taken, but I kind of like our synergy right now. It's pretty good, though. I mean, it's got 50% more base damage than the carbine, and it's got a good melee attack, but I've been enjoying what we have so far. Let's save explosive crossbow for a different run when I want something easy. Oh, there's another breakable floor here too. Enemies. Actually, enemies everywhere! Okay, careful. Excuse me, something spawned or appeared. I'm scared because I can't see anything. Please be enemies. It's a cannon. I like the double crossbow-matic. I had to fight for it. Let's keep it. Oh, lasers. Always scared of the freaking laser beams. Come here. Two remaining. Two remaining. Two remaining. Thank you very much. I needed that. I was scared because I'm a scaredy cat. No, you're a scaredy beheaded. Ha ha ha. Oh God, the sneezes, man. Oh, my allergies just want to kill me today. Today, more like all week. Been miserable lately. You freaking exploded, man. Nah. Same as the one we already have. Well, I do like coming up here and killing all these enemies. Getting some money. What's with these back doors being so large lately? Oh, God. Cursed sword, probably the best flawless weapon outside of some rare stun locks or something. I mean, yeah. As long as you're rolling brutality. I mean, you might also just want to go for the legendary cursed sword because it gives you quad damage, right? You might as well. Dun, 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 dun. Oh God, I am just miserable. Oh. Need to take 2 seconds after this this floor and just blow my nose directly into the microphone. Not quite done. I don't think we'll have another cursed chest. I do feel like this cursed chest was a little bit early in the floor, but, you know, whatever. What's done is done. Very strange jumping puzzle there. I do see weapons. And here we go. He did kick me once. That's acceptable. Hey, it's a shield. God dang it, Bobby. You're gonna give me a shield? I don't want your shield. Stun duration up, cudgel 8. Eh, I mean, it's good, but... Gross, I know, I feel gross. I don't know, we could get rid of the Sonic Carbine. It's a level 4 and we're in the gosh darn graveyard. Double poison and then stun duration up. I mean, I think we gotta. I think we have to because the existing weapon is not crushing it anymore. It's too old. I like getting a free legendary early, and it was very good, but it's level 4. We gotta dump it. Not dumping it is just being stubborn, and I've grown out of my Dead Cells stubborn phase. I've grown up and grown out. That's not supposed to be a joke about my weight or anything like that. I'm just saying. Ah! What a hop that guy had. Now, we've got a shield to worry about until we find a different weapon, but it's not terrible. Luckily, if there's a weapon, we know that this is gonna be weapon shop anyway, so we can buy something here. Can you kill a boss with Yumi? You can. It's actually very good against the servants and the clock boss and the Black Bridge boss. Not so much against tentacles. Works against Nest, but with only Nest boss, not Ness, the character. Good against Nest boss, but also only has 2 ammo. 2 ammo. Hand. Yumi is terrible on Giant. Yumi does nothing against the Giant, so that is a bad matchup. A bad, bad, bad matchup. Hand of the King. Still not a very good matchup. Not as bad against the Giant. You said hand, and my mind immediately went to the boss that's made of hands. Throwing knife, huh? It kind of does synergize with the Yumi. Sorry, not the Yumi, the Hokuto. Not as much single target damage, but the spread damage is pretty decent. Kind of like the idea of getting rid of the shield, because I don't really want a shield. I took it because we had to upgrade from that level 4. Let me reroll and get something better. I don't want Ice Bow. Well, I mean, it's a Sonic Carbine 9. Javelin. There's a Star Fury. I was just talking about that. All right, so I'm not buying anything. We're just gonna move on, I guess. Where does the game want me to go? Sepulcher. Yeah, what boss are we going to? You know, we could go Sepulcher and then probably Clock. Try to kill Clock with some Yumi, a turret, a shield, maybe try to get some stuns in there. Like, stun into a Yumi shot could be pretty decent. Yeah, I guess. Let's go to the Sepulcher. Sepulchre. Pardon me. Drac. Ah, man, I'm not very good at Dracula. I'm just gonna say it. And I think having low health tactics is not good, but maybe the barb tips will make it worth it, but we need to get new weapons before then too. We could also go to the caverns to get high level equipment, but I'm just gonna stick with what the game wants me to do. Oh man, I am just stuffy today, unfortunately. Barricade, face flask, rapier. Nah. If we fight Clock Boss, Tornado could be helpful, but I don't know. If we can get a burning oil synergy, I would feel much better about this. I am tempted, honestly, to just roll Wish, but then we would lose either Barb Tip or Acrobat Pack, which I'd rather not do. So I think we're just gonna roll as is, no legendary pickups, and see what we get. AJD says, spoiler Queen Dracula easiest to hardest. I think Queen is easier. I think Queen is the easiest. Spoiler second, Drac third. This is probably a shop, I think. Surprised you didn't die. AJD says, I am more comfortable with spoiler. Well, good for freaking you. Hopefully we can get a new weapon here, because I am looking for something. Heavy crossbow sucks. I don't know, shrapnel axes? Like, it does fire. Metal shards inflict approximately 6,000 damage per shard? That's incredible DPS if it's per shard. But these should stick into enemies and trigger barb tips, right? So maybe shrapnel axes is what we want? Like replace Gilded Yumi? Maybe replace the cudgel for now? It's got enough ammo, that's for certain. Ooh, throwing knife though, bleeding causes poisoning's pretty good. And magic missiles is an infinite ammo weapon. Throwing knife though, throwing knife. Bleeding causes poisoning. I never remember how much value you get out of the poison. Like, is it good poison damage? Throwing knife is pretty decent. Let's check out these shrapnel axes first. I've used shrapnel axes in the past, but mostly legendary versions. Oh, he did get me. Stop that. If the shrapnel axes themselves, it says that they're doing 3,000 damage, not 6,000 damage. So something's clearly lying. But I wouldn't do that to you, so you know it's not me. But something is clearly lying. Does the knife trigger barb tips? It does, yes. The throwing knife triggers barb tips, as does shrapnel axes, which is one of the reasons why I'm testing it out here. Just a grenade. It's good, but I'm gonna stick with my current equipment. We want the trap for the boss, and Tornado maybe works pretty well against, you know, she who shall not be named, or she who shall be named later. Don't worry. I do have to, like, get out of here, though. Oh, no. Please move down. Thank you. Just have to kill one more. It's a little scary. It's a little scary. You're not gonna hear me lie about that. That's our last light, and then we have to go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, where the heck is the light? I don't know how you missed me. I guess your AoE can be dodge rolled, which is a surprise. Oh my god, he did so much damage. Can't heal yet. We have to clear out the area. I'll spend 1 healing flask. How do I get out of this place? I need a teleporter, man. Wings of the Crow is good against the boss. I know that much, but I still have a personal disregard for it because people tell me it's so good. I don't want to believe them. Okay. There's a chest over there. Sad face. Man, I'm so scared of their tornado because it pulls the enemies back into you. And I was wondering about this. If it pulls the enemies into you, then that just means you have to dodge them again. Or you have to dodge them on the way out. This is our first key, so there should be more enemies to fight. I don't think we're quite done with the floor, but there's doors that I left closed back here. Maybe there's enemies? Not here. Just a nail and a stun grenade. Stun grenade is tempting, but let's stick with the damage. AJD says, I once got 4 curses here with the damned aspect. I don't roll aspects. Oh, God. What a miserable area this is. I don't, that's like a leap of faith. Jump down and then hope that you can kill all the enemies before they kill you. I'd rather not. There's a few enemies back here we can deal with. And then hopefully some more enemies over here. Another door. I guess like throw your stuff. Oh, there's an elite. We have to go. He could telefrag me. Game's not making it easy. That much is certain. Game does not want to make it easy to cleanse this curse. Curse. I want to stick with the ice bow just to freeze, but we got the Yumi. We got the knockback. We got the touch. I feel like there's gonna be enemies to the right. Told ya. Whoa. Okay. We've lived for another day. Goodness, there's a lot of stuff happening up here too. Not interested. How much damage did that dude did that dude? Hold on. 3,000? 4,000? Says they do 1,500 damage. Metal shards. That's a complete lie. 7,000. 4,000. Game, why do you lie to me like this? You need a better amulet? I mean, we have 3 stats. It's not all 3 purple, unfortunately, but you know what they say, 3 stats are better than 1. Maybe for the total combo, except it fires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots. So if it's doing 4,000 per shot, 4,000 times 8, 32,000. Yeah, the number is just lying. It likes to lie. This game is full of liars and lying liars. Oh, that's why I don't want to fight him. I would have seen that one because I was fighting him. Come on, click the button. Thank you. Reveals invisible enemies. Extra jump and 75% ranged reduction is worth more. Ow. That's fine. Should be some food here we can pick up as soon as we're done. And if not, that's also fine. I don't know, the tornado damage is starting to... It's starting to convince me that maybe 16,000 damage is one of those lies that the game tells itself. Maybe it's 15,000 DPS? Or maybe 23,000 damage is like the actual physical hit of the weapon. Who knows? Would require testing. There is food to pick up, so we should be fine. There was another passageway I wanted to explore. It was the chest up here. And then we should be just about done. Whee! You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose unless you ask real politely. Okay. Not gonna fight those 2 enemies. I am gonna go here and check out the weapons one more time, because this is where the throwing knife was, wasn't it? And right now it does 4,000 DPS for 3 seconds per knife, which means each knife has an additional 12,000 DPS on it. Well, more than that, really. I like the Yumi for the fight though. Shrapnel Axes we're gonna try out. Shrapnel Axe Legendary, I think it's Trail of Flames, now that I think about it. And I would like to try to get a burning synergy here. Hokuto? For the boss fight, I actually still think Hokuto is fine, because it'll do more damage. You know, it's gonna buff the damage by 15,000 DPS over the course of the fight. So like that's okay. We're just gonna see what we get. Level 10. We already have level 10. It's a piercing though. It's already have piercing. Shrapnel axe is so good. You know, I'm learning. I'm trying to figure it out whether or not I like it. It seems okay. Cudgel. No, we're gonna go for damage. Though being able to apply stuns does seem pretty helpful. And then there's another shop. This is a skill shop. Maybe we'll find something good. Tesla coil trap is pretty tempting. See, I worry about the tornado moving the boss. If it pushes the boss around, then it's gonna be harder for me to actually dodge it. Ooh, I do like the wolf trap. Burns the ground when destroyed means that we can build into possibly a burn synergy. Tesla is pretty good against the giant because it can reach up, yeah. I think I want to fight Clock Boss though. Maybe even go to the Dracula fight, but it really does depend on how this goes. Because we could fight the giant, and the giant is pretty decent. It'd be mostly this. Give me the... I'm not gonna take it. I don't wanna swap out anything that I currently have. I just want better gear than what I currently have. Like just upgrades and synergies and all that nonsense. Let's pick up the food and then let's get out of here. Should be able to get up to full HP thanks to all of the food stuffs. Yeah. I want to practice clock. So clock room it is. So what are we looking for? Hokuto's bow can be re-rolled. We're looking for any DOT application. Yeah, it was a pretty good floor. Did take one super big hit, which almost cost me, but Gilded Yumi upgrade. Yeah. If I try to re-roll the Yumi and I don't like what I get, I might switch back, but we have a lot of money, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're gonna be looking for any DOT bonus. And if we can get something that creates fire, that would be the best. More damage on a poisoned target. Hokuto's bow is now releasing poison. So then shrapnel axes can do more damage on a poisoned target, and the Gilded Yumi can just do 40% more damage. If we play the crossbow turret twice, we can create fire. But we still don't have any way of actually burning the enemies. But this does more damage on a poison target. Larry DeHooster, welcome. How's it going? Thank you for the resubscription. Kaka. Game is rigged in Abe's favor. Nah. Keep 20k for the flask in the castle. Good point, if we go that route. Burns the ground when destroyed, spreads oil. Shots pierce. More damage on oil. I'm not gonna spend more money re-rolling that. All right, let's see how this works. Let's freaking do it. Can't help but notice that this doesn't seem to fire the Hokuto's bow shot, but that's okay. We still have the Yumi. We could also swap out the Yumi for the Hokuto's bow, but I'm fine as is. I'd rather have multiple knockbacks than multiple Hokutos. We only need the Hokuto to land once. Was it this room? No, was it that room? Wait, hold on. When were we? Burns the ground when destroyed. All right, how about this? Put the turret out, and then we'll recycle it, and then maybe we'll get lucky and get some burn. Let's finish this. Okay. That went well. Another Yumi. Plus 40% raw. It's pretty good. Want to go try to fight Drac? Let's do it. We're gonna need some replacement equipment though. I don't know how much value the tornado is gonna give us. Ice grenade 10. I mean, damage is poor, but it is an ice grenade. Enemies hit thaw more slowly. I mean, phase 1 of the Dracula fight, the tornado should be okay. Phase 2, I don't know if the tornado can even hit the boss. Maybe. But we can maybe find a skill shop and then replace this anyways, but ice grenade's pretty good. You know, I'm gonna pass. Let's keep the tornado for now. Hello. Now we could go... Ooh. We could go... Wish. I think I might, because we don't need Yumi and Hokuto for the upcoming boss fight. We can't knock back the second phase, and the first phase doesn't get knocked back that much either, so we can pretty much drop Yumi at that point. So if we re-roll and take a wish, maybe we can buy something a little bit better for on this floor, and roll that. What I will take is Acrobata Pack, and then re-roll into Barb Tips for the boss, I think. I might even want to swap Hokuto and Yumi. Hokuto's a little bit faster, and the poison should still kill enemies in one shot, pretty much. We'll see that happen right here. Because that Yumi, normally it's a pretty slow-firing weapon. What I noticed, though, is that the Yumi shot is a little faster than the Hokuto shot, and as a result, enemies don't always get hit by what I want them to get hit by. Okay, well... ah! God, I hate that. Is it too much to ask for not making me dizzy? Chemic Carbine could be good. I mean, a lot of things could be good here. We're gonna be on the lookout for a lot of different equipment. Skills and weapons. right, let's start with our mer friend. Right, I don't fight her that often. I don't recognize her attack. I keep looking for the big red cone and then not seeing it, but still thinking she's gonna try to freeze me. That's not how it works. Oh, God! One time, tornado is actually good. Meaningfully good. Felt drunk for a moment. Felt like I was gonna puke, man! Don't like that there's two of you. I didn't realize that when he created elites, he gave them an ability. Makes him a little bit more scary. All right. What do you want? Get out of here, Dracula, you're drunk. Or rather, you're making me drunk. You know, shrapnel axes, it's not that bad. It's getting the job done. It's better than I thought it would be here. Oh, roll please. I mean, I took it, and I know I took it, but I didn't think it would be good at all, and now I'm like, yeah, you know, it's okay. It's a solid enough weapon. If I find it on a run, it was the best option, I'd take it. Especially when you get the whole combo off. If you get the whole combo off, it's actually like a relatively meaningful amount of damage. Hello? Still not entirely certain how the damage works on the shrapnels themselves, but I think I was playing it wrong. I mainly used the melee attack and got hit off. And I mean, you can use the melee attack, and I think it still throws the shrapnels when you use the melee. Sometimes I only see one damage number though, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you don't get the shrapnel pieces when you get the melee attack off. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Wow. We have not found one amulet over the course of the run that had 2 stats in purple. We have been looking. We have 12,000 HP. He can hit for like 8 or 9,000, he being death. So having 12,000 HP is good. Hopefully keep disengagement for as long as possible during the fight, but he can still hit like a truck. Get out of here, Drac. No one likes you. Yo, that went pretty well. Yeah, the shrapnels, I think, are like the big selling point here. Extra jump. 12,800, 12,400. 5% damage reduction. I'd rather keep the extra jump. It's a tough sell, but... Crapsule, welcome. I've been quiet, but I still love you in secret. I love you not in secret. I'm willing to acknowledge it. I'm willing to say it. Loud and proud and for the world to know. Got to let it show. Okay, so we want the flask. And we want the turkey. Not quite a full value turkey, but I'll just buy it now, just so we have the health. No, you get your nonsense out of here. It's another chicken leg. We eat turkey and we got chicken. Meat's back on the menu, boys. I think that when you hit with the melee, you do not get... Okay, I like the tornado on the stairs. I think when you hit with the melee, you don't get the bonus shots. The shrapnel shots. That seems to be the case. Keep the turret-o-matic, I think. All right. I know I said I was gonna hopefully swap out the tornado, but I haven't found anything that I want more than what we have. Rip. Any cursed chests? No. Few scrolls though, we still have to go pick up, so let's work on those. It is nice that this weapon can do both. The melee and the ranged bonuses and whatnot. The damage is pretty good. And the barbed tips do work with it. We don't have barbed tips active right now. Man, I completely forgot about the fact that I have Wish. I've not picked anything up yet. But the next thing we pick up is gonna be turned into a legendary. So I gotta think about that right now, since I have not been. What do we want? We've already been to the shops. Did I re-roll that shop? I can't recall. Because I've not been thinking about legendaries at all right now. So let's hit up a teleporter, grab these shops, see if there's anything that we want to buy. If there's nothing that we want to buy, we can always... Oh, there's a big turret there. We can always just re-roll like, the mutations again and then just pick something else. We don't have to use Wish. And I've already re-rolled through the skill shop, and there is no weapon shop, so... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna re-roll Wish and then just take another perk. I re-rolled the shop, so we're not getting anything out of that. That's gonna hurt. Said it just because I knew what was gonna happen. Yeah. What would we take? We don't need networking or anything like that. We can have barbed tips. We could go ammo, but I don't think we're really using all of the ammo that we currently have. You know, ammo's not like a prime concern here. So we could take something that gives us more health or damage, or we could keep Acrobat Pack and then just keep the Hokuto's bow / Yumi. Might just do a little bit of additional damage. Because the only thing left is that turret up there, which works, it'll work on the first phase of the fight, but not the second phase of the fight. And we already have Tornado. It does enable poison and burn. I'll grant you that. But I think we get more value at this point by recycling. So there we go. 1 scroll fragment. I'm gonna go pick it up. Do you get a scroll fragment after the first phase? You get loot, which might be a reason to hold on to Wish, so you can maybe get a couple of more choices of equipment. You know what? That might be the best course of action. Get rid of the Yumi's bow since we don't need it. And we're not going to be knocking enemies into walls, so we're not going to be getting that crit value. Keep Hokuto's bow for the poison. Build around poison, and then maybe try to wish something into existence. I'm willing to give it a shot. So let's get out of here. Where is the exit? It is right. AJD says, it would be fun if you could get something out of Richter mode like an item. You just get cells as far as I know, yeah. Not really that helpful. So we do have to reroll because we still need barbed tips, but we can dump Acrobat Pack. We're not gonna need Yumi. I think you can knock first phase Dracula into the wall, but I don't think you can knock second phase Dracula around. He's so big, large and in charge, and etc. I like what we have. So we're not gonna reroll items. But give me wish, disengagement, barbed tips. Let's do it. Turrets and Tornado will do good damage on phase 1. We just need to make sure that we dodge. Would be fun if you could use cells in the shop. I mean, it would be fun if you could, you know, use cells for more things, certainly. I mean, he's burning. Does he take barbed tip damage? I assume he is. Ow! I didn't realize he could turn around. I'll use a healing flask here. Legendary banjo. You know what? Let's go for the turret. Over the tornado. Could have gone for the legendary banjo too. Shot pierces all enemies. Oh baby. Not worth it at all. What wish? Wish makes an item legendary. And the legendary affix on the turret is penetration, which doesn't matter when we're fighting one dude. Yeah, I wish you could spend cells on other things. Barb tips does work, okay. That's what I wanted to check there. Can't get around to the other side. I want to get under him when he does that attack. Need to get my health back. so you can do some damage to him. Let's get the turrets out there. Oh, the turrets are gonna be destroyed, aren't they? Because the platform is destroyed. No! Get down. Wow, how was that so easy? That felt absurdly easy. I don't know. I'm on point today. Even though earlier I felt like I was gonna die inside, with these allergies making me want to just tear up my sinuses. But hey, Dracula done. Yeah, turrets were doing a decent amount of work. I've really got to watch the footage back to see if we were doing value with barbed tips, because it didn't seem like we were applying too many barbed tip effects when we were up close and personal in melee. It seems like maybe they don't stick when you do it like that. You know what we could do? We could just go test right now. Let's take a second and maybe see if we can learn a thing or two about this weapon. So first attack does apply, and it's doing 20 damage per tick about every half second. Very good for Hokuto's bow there. And then when the attacks rip out, they stop. Melee is just the melee attack. And the final hit was 186 damage, okay? The final hit there was 300, because each of the shrapnel axes was doing about 60. So this says they do approximately 130. 20, 30, 40, 40, 60. So they actually do more damage the later in the combo you are. And it kind of looks like they do a different amount of damage depending on which one gets added to the target, because sometimes they're doing 60, but that might just be how it's calculating out the barbed tips effect. But yeah, shrapnel axe is 187 DPS, 60, 60, 60, 80, 160, and then even at range, 20, 30, 30, 40, and then 60 on top of that. I don't know, 20 something else. I guess Tranquility has a pretty limited range. Here, this is the range limit. Oh, dude, Tranquility works with barbed tips. $20 damage, 25 damage. Very interesting. I didn't realize Tranquility worked with barbed tips. I think it works with DOT as well. We'll test that out, but for now, for those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe for more. Check me out on Twitch for when I go live, support the channel at any of the links below in the video description, and I hope to see you here again for the next run of Dead Cells.